Greetings, everyone. Topic tonight is what is love? The thing is, I was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock, and every and anything that could prevent me from being here did prevent me. I was very tired and I went to take a nap. Now I'm here, just waiting for hopefully YouTube send some notification tonight. Welcome to people joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, good night, Harley. Good night. Something was trying to prevent me from coming here. And whenever, good night, Ferguson, whenever something is preventing me from, or anyone or anything is preventing me from doing something, it only makes me want to do it more. So my curiosity got the better of me, and I pushed through all of that to come here tonight. And by the end of this live, I'll figure out why it was necessary for me to be here. Welcome to the live. If you see the topic, the question is, what is love? I'd like you guys to share your perspective or your idea of what love is. What is a marker for you to say that you love somebody or you feel loved? What does someone else have to do or say for you to say that this person loves you or you love that person? Is love an action or is it a feeling? Those of you that are here, how do you know? How do you know that, I love this person or this person loves me? A few questions I could give you to work with as well. How do you know that somebody is right for you? And a bigger question, overwhelming feeling. For example, and how do you deal with loneliness? I think we all, at some point or the other, feel lonely. Love of your children. Okay. So the love that you have for your children, that's a different kind of love, of course, that you would have for a prospective partner. For me, love is not a feeling. It's not a feeling for me. It's not, I don't trust my feelings. In fact, if I met someone and had overwhelming feeling for that person, you're feeling nervous when you're meeting a new person, and this person just have you so weak. I could never be with someone who I feel that way about, because first of all, you would not be very rational. When you have these feelings, they're sentimental. They're not love. And I think it's a kind of spirit. I personally, and I can't speak for anybody else, but I think that anyone who has me so weak and so nervous, I could never be in a relationship with that person because I would not be able to think rational. It's a feeling, it's pure from the heart, but the mind observes what you vibrate the feeling for. It's a feeling, it's pure from the heart, but the mind observe what you. Can you explain that, Harley? Because I don't base it on feelings at all. It's based on someone's action towards me. That's how I perceive love anyway. How do you deal with loneliness? Because sometimes people are lonely and they misunderstand that. So when they meet someone, they're happy to have companionship and they misunderstand that for love. And do you have to be attracted to somebody to date that person or to marry them? Is it important? Physical attraction, because people say, oh, you first see someone and you become physically attracted to the person and then you take it from there. But can you actually find true love where you're not physically attracted to the person, not their physical attributes at least, but emotionally you're attracted to somebody's emotion? I just have some questions. I don't want to talk all by myself tonight. I just want to gauge that conversation to see how other folks are feeling about this. And then I'll tell you how I feel. The feeling is pure from the heart. I'm trying to still understand what you're saying here, Harley, if you're still here. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is to trust their feeling when it comes to relationship. I think our feelings oftentimes mislead us and we make judgment or enter into relationships based on how we're feeling about someone. And Ferguson, of course, it's difficult being lonely, but what has prevented you from having anyone in your life? Why are you single? See, some years back when I was a single person, and I would, hear friends say, oh, I want to see you go out. I want to see you, get married. And when I would ask the person why, why do you want to see me married, or why don't you want to see me in a relationship? And they would say, oh, because you're lonely. But I don't think loneliness is a reason to be in a relationship with anybody. You have to first get used to being on your own. Nice nice segue, Ferguson. Why do you think you attract users? What is it about you? Because we often attract to ourselves things and people that we desire. I don't know if it makes any sense. Like, if you think about the law of nature, you bring to you the thing that you desire. So, what is in those persons that you desire that causes you to draw the wrong persons to you? Wow, too nice. But that sounds like an excuse. Welcome, headliner. Love is what is love? Can someone give me a definition for love? Because everybody says, oh, love is wonderful, and we get so sentimental when we talk about love. Is it an action? Is it a feeling? It's not a feeling. Our feelings often mislead us or misguide us. I don't think it's about action. It's about how someone treats you. Your love should then be formed based on how someone treats you and not how someone makes you feel. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining myself well with that. Yeah, Ferguson, to say that you're too nice, oh wow, it's just the easy way out. In your opinion, though, why do you think it doesn't work out? Because you should have an idea and why you're attracting the same kind of people that end up using the excuse that you're too nice. I don't know anyone who doesn't like nice. I think everybody, most men end up picking a woman who is very nice, or a women tend to gravitate towards men. And I'm not talking about women who have mental health issues that would just be attracted to men who are going to abuse them or vice versa. People usually stay with individuals who treat them nice. Love is a feeling. How do you feel that? What does it feel like? If you can explain what this love feeling is about. Yeah, okay. We're getting somewhere, Ferguson. Giving 110% and try to keep them. Wow. So after you've already given more than you're actually giving yourself, then you're doing extra work to try to keep the person. No one, no one should give 100% because then there's nothing left for you. So if you're giving 110%, you're already sending a message to the person that I value you more than I value myself. So a person seeing that is going to take the hills. This, how can you love someone 100%? Fear makes you go above and beyond. And people, when they sense fear, or when I say desperation, I'm not trying to be rude or mean, but when they sense desperation, it is. I think I gave an example once in one of my videos where I was saying any female that says to a guy, "You can do whatever you want, you can sow your wild oats, and I'll just be here waiting in the wing," that guy will never pick you as his wife because there's a certain, you have to demonstrate dignity. No one loves nobody that doesn't love themselves. If you are not loving yourself and if you're not demanding what you want from people, people don't show you any respect. Okay, so you have the heart right. I'm so sorry. I should have got my glasses. I can't see. You have heart right, which can't see, but the mind, you have four minds. When the conscious mind see what your heart desire, it brings the feelings from stomach, and that's when you get this experience. It's not really a feeling, it's more of a frequency. Okay. I just think it's a very spiritual thing. And a lot of us are not finding or keeping love because we think it's a physical thing. That thing where you feel, that thing in your heart, you feel those nervousness, you feel that nervousness. That's a warning sign if you're going on feelings. Um, Love is something that should grow. And so I don't think it's possible to just love someone that you've just met. No. What you're feeling is sexual energy or attraction to that person, or some level of desperation that tells you that this is the right one for you. Okay. When you and another person has the same frequency, you connect. It, in many ways, it can be sexual, friendship, any relation. Now I now I believe that people are brought together for different reasons. I think whether it's short-term relationship or a long-term relationship, people who find themselves attracted to each other, I think these individuals come into your life as like a journey song. So they're there to teach you something. And the longer that relationship lasts, the more that individual is a part of your journey. So that attraction that you feel, as I say, the sexual energy, that usually doesn't last very long. That wears off very quickly. But if it's a spiritual thing, if it's going to produce children, for example, it's going to be so overwhelming that even when you're very skeptical, even when you're very careful, you bless up Akan, bless up, welcome. Even even if you decide that you don't want this to be long term, there's nothing you can do about it. It's very spiritual. Exactly. It is very spiritual. So sometimes you hear people after the relationship ends says, I wasn't even attracted to that person. That person is not my type. But they end up spending years together. They end up producing a child together. I think most women want love, Ferguson. Most of us, most women want love. But why are so many, especially black women, why are so many black women single? Even though some women will go above and beyond, like you said, will be giving 110%, but get so little. How so? Is that individual not growing as well? And if that individual is growing, learning what you already know, would you call that a reason for them to be in your life other than physical attraction? I think nature draws us together for reasons, sometimes beyond our control. And sometimes the deeper that purpose, I guess, you can't fight it. You won't be able to fight it. That if you're meant to be with this person for lessons, because I think everybody, even relationships that last for years and years, these persons come to teach you something. I read a book some years ago, and the woman said that when we are attracted to people is because we see something in the other person that we want to rub them off. So we don't have that characteristic. We don't have that thing that we're attracted to, and we want to rob that person of it. Rob seems harsh, but say, for example, you're someone who is an introvert. You that more than likely are going to be attracted to a person who is more outgoing because you lack that, and so you need that energy around you. So you say, Ferguson, that you've never had love, but you have it for your children. You've never experienced love, like you never felt love for somebody, or you never received that. Yeah, it is. The love we have for our kids is it's much different than the one you would have in a relationship. You never received. How many kids do you have, Ferguson? Yeah, I'm curious to know what is her idea of love. Okay, so you have two kids. And I'm assuming, like, even if they're the same dad, I'm conflicted with this because I think a lot of times what we're calling love is just physical attraction. Have you ever heard about twin flames? These two individuals feel like they're the same person. They have this connection that is so deep. But even though they're this, it's the passion that they share is so intense. When you look at these twin flame, they oftentimes don't last. It doesn't work because they're not just you're thinking, I meet this person and I'm going to fall in love and I'm going to marry and live a life happily ever after. But that's not what the universe has planned for you. So yeah, you have this huge attraction, you come together, but it only has a short lifespan because that person was supposed to come and only you two could have produced that child. So you had to come together to produce that child that is here for a particular purpose. Exactly. I agree with you, Edliner. It's usually too when that is ended, it tests if you love the person or not. Is when the person is removed. That is, I'm so glad you said that because in my own experience, having called a break to say, you know what, I'm not sure if this is what I want. And I am always very wary about not hurting people. I don't want anyone, I would never lead someone on when I was a single person. And when I'm unsure about where I'm going, oh, I see. We'll come back to that, Ferguson. I'm not sure where this is headed. So I tend to want to take my break. But after you take a break from the person, then you start to realize, okay, this is more than just, you know, physical, because when you're away from the person now, you start to miss them. You start to see the attributes that you're looking for. Oh, wow. There goes that topic again. That's another topic that I want to talk about and allow folks to discuss. So, who did that? You see, this makes a difference, because when you're searching, you'll see that the problem with the relationship probably has nothing to do with the other person. It probably has to do with you. And anyone with a history of being molested oftentimes have a difficult time keeping love or maintaining a relationship with anybody. So I'm assuming you're saying your first child came from molestation. Wow. Oh my goodness. So, Ferguson, see, your idea of love is going to be very warped, because when you have people that you're supposed to trust and who are supposed to protect you violate you in such a way, you're not going to be able to receive love until you heal yourself. So, your child's father was your mother's boyfriend's child or your brother? Is that what you're saying? I mean, wow, that's very deep. So, do you see what I was trying to say earlier? That when you're saying that people say you're too nice, we obviously know that that's an excuse for them to get away. But is what kind of energy are you emitting? What kind of messages are you sending out there? Over in Africa, most relationship is guided by the cultural norms. Young women can be unpicked by the family. Yes, I know. I know that. Now, there's a big question that I have. Do you think that nature intended every man to be with a woman? Every woman should have her own partner. Is it natural for a man to just be with one woman? Or is it society that makes that the norm? My mother's boyfriend, his brother. Arlie, you're saying that you feel every man was like, so not that I believe that men are short, but culturally, let's just say I wanted to stay with someone in my race, and I come from a small community where there are 300 women and 200 men. How do you explain each man having a woman for himself? Was there any time in history when, because when I was growing up, even in a household where, man and wife is there, he had children from previous relationship. Most women could have like two or three men their entire life. But most men in the society where we come from have had multiple partners, maybe not at the same time. Do you think it was nature's intention for us to be one man, one woman? Oh, really, Akan? Or is it Akan? Is it a long A or short A? And how do you feel about polygamy? Because you're still in Ghana, right? How do you feel about having more than one wife? And do you think that the women who are married to polygamous men are happy? Can one man make all these women happy or fulfilled? Or is someone going to feel like they're being cheated? Ferguson, your stuff is very deep. I think we should have a conversation about that another time, because that stuff has a lot to do with how you see men, how you form relationships with men, how you attract men. Something tells me that the men that you're attracted to probably are similar to the person that abused you. Okay, it's the intention of the universe. It is possible to have multiple. Nature don't judge, but the purpose is to fulfill its course. So when nature is, say, for example, allowing for men to have multiple partners, is this the same for women too? Because I know a lot of Black men in our culture tend to have a lot of women, maybe not in the same environment, but they have relationship with all these women. But it seems to be a one-way street. Like the men are supposed to hunt and gather, and the women are supposed to just be there to invite them in. So we all have the choice to choose. Just because you are with someone, that does not mean you will not see anyone else attractive. If you choose to act upon it, which you will, all you choose is your choice. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we're talking about attraction here. So we're not talking about love, because I don't think it's possible to love more than one person at the same time. I don't think I think you're going to have a deeper feeling. The one you have the deeper feeling for is the one that you love. Well, we like people for different reasons, but I don't think you can love more than one person at the same time. If anyone disagree with me, let me know. Yeah, you can love. Explain that. You can love more than one person at the same time. Filial love, as they call it in the Bible, that deep, passionate love. You're gonna love some more than the other. Exactly. You might be attracted to more than one person, but I'm not sure if you actually love. You're gonna love them, like deeply love more than one person. If you had to choose, because if you feel great attraction for one person and you have to choose, and you're forced to make a choice, the one you pick is the one you actually love. Because it's a different thing. The love you have bringing forth these children, first of all, these seeds planted in your womb, you automatically are attached to these kids, literally giving birth to these children. Of course, you can't pick, because that attraction that a woman has for her children is far different. Even kids who are abusive to their parents, even kids who sometimes give their parents so many trouble. That mom can't just turn off her feeling, but you can for a partner. It's different. I think it's a different kind of love that a mom and her children share. You don't love your daughter and son the same way because they're individuals. However, you love your kids the same. I'm not sure if I understand. Of course, you can have. If you're open to having, whatever it is that you desire, you can have it. But does that make it pure? There's a question that I had, and I don't want to forget it. How does your upbringing influence your relationship choice? Do you think your upbringing has anything to do with the type of people that you're attracted to. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I personally don't think love has anything to do with the way I feel. If I the more I feel attracted to somebody, the more that scares me really. Okay, so polygamy down here is mainly done for a reason. It is some Kenyan societies. In some Kenyan societies, if a woman is barren or can't have boys, they go out and pick a partner for their husband. And those women, how does a woman feel? That's like torture. How does a woman feel when her she knows it's because she's not able to bear her husband's children while he goes out with the other woman? And does that man tend to get closer to the one that bears him children? And what is that emotionally like for that woman who can't bear children? Okay, exactly, Ferguson. A lot of times a man will be so upset that a woman can't bear him sons, not realizing that he's the one who actually carries both male and female sperm. He's the one that decides the sex of the baby. Okay, so Arlie, if you had your way, would you want, if you had one wife that you'd be very happy with forever, would you rather that or you would rather have many women? If you had one person that you love deeply and passionately, and vice versa, she loves you the same, would you pick over the freedom of having as much women as you like? I mean, I don't think marriage is for every person. I don't think marriage is for every man. I think some men have an insatiable appetite, and women too, for sex, and these individuals should not get married. I think they should be honest with themselves and say, okay, this is not for me. I can't stay committed. You have to respect people, and especially men. That's why there are some men who have a lot of women, and women know that they're like that, and they still date these men because they're honest. And I don't think someone should venture into a relationship, get married, and then go out and cheat. If you know, if you know that you are not someone who can be satisfied with one partner, then I wouldn't judge you. You just should be honest with yourself. You should just be honest with yourself. I wouldn't want to be with a man who has this great appetite for lots of women, and because society tells him that he's supposed to be one woman with one woman, he picks me and is miserable. It's sex, marriage. That's what it is. We are making it into a business contract, but I think anybody you sleep with becomes your wife or your husband. Because then you become that attraction, or it becomes a physical one. Now the sex business has now bind you. It's a spell. It's true. You're bound, and it takes years and years. So what happened to Ferguson? Somebody bound her to him, and she's not even aware of it. And when she meets other men, they feel that. They feel that spiritual bond. And for some, and because of how it happened, it wasn't something that she invited, that she wanted. It was forced upon her. So imagine that spirit. It's that spirit these individuals are feeling, Ferguson, that actually drives that how that thing that happened to you, being molested and having a child from that situation. That spiritual energy is so powerful that it pushes people away. So you'll meet somebody and everything seems to be going well and you're doing the best you can to keep that person around, but that you have to remove that. You have to find a way to break that spell, to break that. Otherwise, you'll spend your entire life getting attracted to people who are going to feel that dislike, that spirit is staying there and pushing other people away. Yep. So you ask yourself the question, why are so many Black women single, beautiful Black women, successful Black women? Why are so many men, not feeling satisfaction with one woman? I think it's a generational thing. And because we're going into this whole romance thing with fairy tale ending and so on, this is why our marriages are not lasting, our relationships are not lasting, because we're going in it the wrong way. And someone said earlier that it's a business. People who really enter marriage with a mindset like it's business, sometimes it works better than those who go in there with, because no matter how much you love somebody, over time, living together and dealing with life changes and dealing with all stressors in your life, you're going to come to a point where it's this true commitment is going to last because of something deeper than just your physical feelings, something more than just this romantic feeling that first draw you together. Because obviously, all human being, when you get to meet someone, it's not like the animals that, will just jump on and go about your business. We are social beings. So when we get together, we want to grow together. We want to grow deeper and deeper in love and whatever. But I think it's the hard things in life that make people fall in love. Hardships. When you weather storm together with people, it bonds you. I think it's a Western society pressure thing, not that marriage breakups don't happen here, but it's to happen. But it's to happen. It's got to take a lot. Yeah, because you don't have this, fairy tale kind of imagination in certain culture. For example, in India, and I met so many women that I worked with in the past that are from India, and they said, I never met my husband until the night we got married. And I always say, then why is it that that marriage lasts forever? And people who say, okay, I meet someone and I get to know that person, I fall in love. Why these arranged marriages? And I'm not saying that you should be doing this, but why are these arranged marriages work? What is the difference with these arranged marriages as opposed to marriages where people get to pick their own partner? And I'm not saying I'm just asking a question. There's something about culture, society, or environments in which people are put together by parents and it works out. Because when we have choices, I don't know if I should say choice because I like the fact that people have choices, but when we have these romantic ideas about love, it tends not to work out. Having more than one is like cross contamination. You tell that to some men or some women, because it isn't just men that have the desire for more than one partner. There are women who are like that too. See, as we go on in this series, I just wanted to get people's idea of what love is, get to the point where we say, okay, we all have, most people have a list of what they're looking for in their partner. And a lot of it has to do with physical things. It has nothing to do with spirit. And oftentimes when we meet people, we're entering relationships looking at the physical, not trying to say, how do I feel when I'm with this person? What is the physical attraction? First of all, shall I go on that, or am I supposed to be depending on how nervous this person makes me, or how much passion this person brings to me, or down the road, how does this person change my life? How is this person going to change my life, positive or negative? What does this person bring to my life? What value does this person add to my life? What are we going to be able to produce together? What are we going to accomplish or achieve in this situation? How is this a sacred bond? Because I don't think there's any relationship that will not go through test. And you want to go through test with individuals to really get to know. Hello, good night, Apple. It's good morning for you. I'm very tired and I'm not even thinking too straight right now, but something was trying to prevent me from coming on here. And the more I say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, the more I'm getting the feeling that I should come. And when I tried setting up for the process, all kinds of hell broke loose. And I just said, okay, I guess I'm supposed to come. Maybe someone needs to hear me tonight. I think for young people too, they're getting the wrong message about love, looking at all the wrong reasons to enter into relationship with people. Tonight we're keeping this Apple, we're just keeping the topic kind of loose because I have specific topics that we want to zone in. But the question was, what is love? How do you know if you love somebody or if someone loves you? Soon. I actually have a live. I just have to set things up so that you can do that, Apple. So I don't have to talk too much. I'd rather hear from you guys, hear you share your stories. Let me see if I left anything out. Apple, how do you know if someone loves you? How do you know? Because I would tell young people that are, saying, I'm in love with this person. I would ask the question, why, and how do you know you're in love with this person? Or the person says, yeah, she loves me. How do you know that person love you? What's your marker? What are you using to test that? I do have WhatsApp. Your subconscious, obviously, your gut tells you, but the gut sometimes, wants something else. Your gut will tell you, and you have that, and that's what a lot of problems women have is that they meet someone, they've met a couple persons before, and it didn't work out, and they feel, they're getting older and they're feeling more desperate. So they meet someone and they have a list of what they're looking for in a partner, and they feel like, let me compromise because, at the end of the day, I'm going to have to pick somebody. So the gut says, this is not the one for you, but they don't have the patience. One of the things too, people are afraid to be alone. People are afraid to be in their own company. They're afraid. So you find women who have had many bad relationships, but they don't want to be alone. And so they'll enter in another relationship with somebody that is not right for them. Yeah, the subconscious, obviously. Yeah, that's where the gut feeling comes from. So you're dating a guy and you go on a date, for example, and he says something, and there's that sinking feeling in your belly that says, oh my goodness, this is not the one for you. But because you don't want to be alone, you ignore it. And usually it never works out. Yeah, your gut is there to guide you. Your subconscious is there to teach you. But fear. One of the big problems I think too is that men and women. I think in our community, this is one of the things that I'm most disappointed about. Men and women are not learning how to control their libido, not knowing that sexual energy can be harnessed for something else other than just sex. And I think even if you're married, you should be able to stay in bed with your husband or stay in bed with your wife and feel that great tension and still resist. There's something about learning how to control yourself. A person who knows how to control their sexual urges will make you a very good partner. Because if you know how to say no to somebody you love, you're not going to be so easily tempted. Yeah. That's why a lot of people are not finding true love, because the need and the love for sex is what's making you make bad choices. You're using how attracted you are to someone, physically attracted to somebody, to decide if this is the right person or not. You're saying, oh, most people are saying, I'm in love with somebody because of how the person make you feel physically, not spiritually. Can you have a long lasting relationship with somebody that you're not attracted to? Can you learn to love somebody as opposed to just falling in love with this person and then things just sizzle or just fade away? Anyway, there I'm still waiting for more questions from individuals so we can have these discussions. How do you deal with loneliness? I don't think anybody answered that for me yet. How do you deal with loneliness? I think one of the best things to do, especially if you're a single person, male or female, is to learn to enjoy your own company and to do the things you desire to do with a partner. So, if you want to meet someone and you're someone who likes to travel the world, do it by yourself. Let the person come and find you doing the things that you always want to do with a partner. Yeah, interest, sharing interest, having common values, though, that's a very important one. So if you don't share the same values as someone else, you're going to have problems. So you say, okay, well, I don't like to go to parties. I don't like to go to club. You go to a nightclub and you meet someone. You met that person in that nightclub. That's how you're going to keep that person. Sorry to say. The way you meet someone, that's how you're going to keep them. So for people, for example, who start a relationship, they had an affair, and they eventually get married. The lover becomes the wife, and then she feels like, okay, he loves me, he picks me, and then she starts thinking that what happened to the other woman is not going to happen to her. It's going to happen to you. The way you find your person, your partner, that's how you're going to keep him or her, in my opinion. What would you like to know about me? Headliner, what question would you have? Maybe I could answer. If you find you're lonely, that's what you want. Explain that. Okay, let's see if I figure the yes, the common value is serious, because my old school Jamaican tradition keeps me in a lot of issues with the people in my age range and not from the same background. Well, I can say that when I was a single, and I was single for 10 years, and during that time, first of all, I enjoyed my own company. I was never eager, perhaps because I had a relationship before and I was determined to learn from that. And I knew that I had to exercise self control. If I didn't do that, I was going to venture into another relationship with somebody down the road that I'm going to regret. So, one of the things that I did as a single person, I had put out there to the universe what I was looking for. I knew what I wanted in a partner, and I was not willing to settle. In the meantime, while I was living my life, enjoying my life, I would just imagine someone one day sharing those things with me. I just lived my life. And even though I felt lonely, but I was not too eager to um, be with somebody because other people were. And at the time, everyone that I knew, every single friend that I knew, either had a child's father or a husband or just a boyfriend. There were many, many years, 6 years. I remember never going on one single date because I knew what I wanted. And I would do things like, for example, I'm having dinner, I would set a place for my partner. Seems crazy. I would set a place because I know that one day that person would take that place. And I did the things. I took care of myself. For example, with my girls, we would plan a vacation and I would book a hotel suite for like a husband and wife. And I would enjoy myself with my girls. I did all the nice things for myself in anticipation of somebody joining me. And I mean, eventually one day, that place that was always set for my partner was eventually fulfilled. Someone was there. So it's about being patient, having self control, recognizing when the universe has found someone for you, because sometimes who you want is not right for you. But when the universe decides that this is what, for me, the universe chose for me because I had some things in my mind that I thought would have been better for me or right for me. But when the signs were there and I recognized that this is not my choice, this is the will of the universe, I was very obedient. Are you in a relationship, Chantel? Have you had, I wouldn't say luck, but have you been blessed to meet someone? Because sometimes too there are people who are single but they've already met their soulmate. Doesn't mean that the person is going to last forever. Sometimes the person again comes to teach you life lessons and to depart from your life. Those what they call twin flames, they come, they're true loves. They come, they teach you these lessons, and then they go. See, there you go. Some And when they leave, though, you have to look to say, did you drive that person away, or did the person already serve their purpose? The time was up. It's time for them to go on and bless someone else. Again, Chantel, like my other friend earlier, a lot of what's preventing us from having deep spiritual relationships are traumas. Until you get rid of these traumas, you can't true. Every time you meet even someone who could possibly be a soulmate, those traumatic events in your life, because they go unhealed. They're unhealed parts of ourselves, and they're there, and it prevents someone from getting close to us. It would take someone who is sent, like within yourself that this would have only been the choice of the universe for me to be with this person. This is why we're together. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked out, because these energies that exist with us and around us based on our experience of our past or generational curse stop us from finding true love. We're finding these superficial ways to say we're in love with people, and it doesn't really work out because there are so many unhealed parts of us. This is what is happening to a lot of people, a lot of black men and black women. So much wounds that we carry, and when we meet other folks, we're so wounded that we can't get to connect in a spiritual way. I'm unhealed, feeling a lot of strife inside. I'm always inside my own head, not to talk to you, to your videos, keep me company through my day and helping keep me motivated. Well, I'm so glad that I'm able to make a difference, Chantel. Yeah, a lot. A lot of people that you see that look like they're, successful, everything is going well for them. But if you were to really get a close look at them, they're so broken. Our people are very, very broken. And it's preventing us from having real relationships, this breaking that superficial barrier, going deep. Oh my goodness. If you listen to the stories that some people tell you what they're going through, and if we're not dealing with these things that are under the surface, you can't truly love anybody. Because when you look at it, a lot of times we're saying, why can't someone love me? And I love so much. But if you look at yourself and examine yourself closely, you're not really showing yourself love, and people pick up on that. You're not really loving anybody. You're just getting involved with people because you're afraid to be alone. When you have all these unhealed parts of yourself that needs healing. Somebody who's been molested can't love anybody until you heal that part of yourself, until you come to terms with it, to make peace with it, because that being violated like that prevents you from opening up your heart. So you might think, oh, I'm so nice to these guys, I'm opening, but you're closed in some way and you're not even aware of it. We think, okay, well, why can't somebody love me? Because you're not loving yourself. And so you're attracted to people who sometimes subconsciously you are attracting people into your life that is not going to love you. You can already know. Some men already know this guy's not going to stay. That's why they get in relationship with men who are already in relationship. They're afraid to love, and they make it seem. See, I was open to you loving me, or having a deep relationship with you, but you chose someone who was already taken. You pick a partner that's already taken, or you pick a man or a woman who has a lot of issues that will not be able to truly love you. It's like you're setting up yourself relationships that you venture into. So these wounds, I think I had the question here earlier on. How do you deal with loneliness? Can you hold a moment? What check? Oh, did you send for it? Okay. Sorry. Heard my doorbell ringing at this time of the night. Anyway, guys, not gonna stay much longer. I'm going to structure it. This one was not very structured. Like I said, I was really tired, but I hate breaking my promise. Um, Send me your questions so that we're not all over the place. So we can just deal with one topic. And as Apple said, then we can. No? Why you say no? Not love me right. And I put everything into him and the kids because I felt like it was my only thing, me, my kids, and him. And I thought would be our family. See, that's the thing too. Not that you shouldn't love anyone, Chantel, but when you put your whole heart and soul in another human being, you set yourself up for failure because the expectations are so high. We have to love, but love freely. We have to love our partner, our children, but we have to love them with an open hand. We have to be willing to let them go. It's hard. It's easier said than done. But the more you hold on, that becomes fear. And anything you fear, you lose. Anything you fear, you lose. So you go in there expecting the worst, and you're going to get the worst. Yeah, so pretty much what I'm seeing mostly tonight is that A lot of people are hurting, and a lot of us are wounded. And as a result, we are attracting the same types of people who are wounded, people who are very hurt. And we have like soul ties that needs to be cut. And soul ties sometimes are with even family members, hurts and pain and disappointment in your life. It stays there. It becomes like an energy that attracts people who are also hurt and wounded. So you're blessed, Chantel. You're blessed. All you need to do is heal yourself. Find a way to heal yourself. We're going to have this conversation another time. I'm going to go. I feel like I'm just rambling now, but thank you so much for joining, Chantel, headliners, Harley. You finally got to catch my live. Let's see who else was here. Apple. Yes. I was not sure if I could come on. I'm feeling really tired, but I just don't like breaking my promise. And the more things happen to keep me from coming on, the more I started getting curious to say, I wonder why. Maybe someone needs to hear me talk tonight. All right. Stay blessed, everybody. Have a wonderful night. And hopefully next time I can make this more interesting and get people to call in as Apple suggests. Take care. Stay blessed.